Today's episode of Big Things Coming Soon is brought to you in part by Rock Sparrow. Rock Sparrow brings artists and brands to life through quality merchandise. They help entrepreneurs, artists, and brands with online merch solutions, taking the guesswork out of merchandising your brand by managing your every need, and all with real people. Speaking of real people, I've known the creators of Rock Sparrow for years, and I can tell you firsthand, these people genuinely care about what they do for their clients and their community. There's even a store there set up for the walk show. Check out what they're up to at rocksparrow.ca. If you want to join up like I did, send them an email at info@rocksparrow.ca. And if you want to check out my Rock Sparrow merch, it's at the walk show. That's wok.rocksparrow.ca. Again, that's thewalkshow.rocksparrow.ca. In any case, if you want to help out the walk show, please let them know that I sent you.
Big things coming soon. Got some big things happening behind the scenes right now.
Giving you a glimpse into the world of walk while taking the phrase back from the cynical and the unproductive. This is Big Things Coming Soon with your host, Derek Prince-Cox.
Clap everybody and say hello. Clap everybody and say hello. Clap everybody and say hello.
Howdy, folks. Welcome to Big Things Coming Soon. Podcasting on all major platforms and broadcasting on Hypernova Radio. Thank you for listening. Be sure to follow the show on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Blue Sky. And if you want to support the show with your dollars, you can subscribe over on Patreon for $5 a month. I'm Derek Prince-Cox, and I hope you're keeping well. You know what's funny? I briefly go over what I said on the previous episode of Big Things Coming Soon, just to determine what I'm going to say this time around, but also to see if there's been any progress made on the things I talked about. And I gotta say, not a whole lot of progress on the weather or my attempt at weight loss. But what are you gonna do? I've been ridiculously busy making progress on other fronts. I'm one of those people that gets up at 5 or 6 a.m. and just starts doing stuff until I'm too tired to keep going. And then it's pretty much bedtime. And I'm just wondering if I need to compartmentalize my time a little more to get more done in the day. Seems that's, how a lot of people do it anyway. I don't really know. But if you have any suggestions, hit me up. It's thewalkshow@gmail.com. In the music business, you're only as strong as your weakest link, so you could be tremendously busy and not really get anywhere if you have somebody bogging you down, or worse, if you're the one doing the bogging. And I've really been trying to assemble a couple bands with no weak links, while simultaneously upping my skill set to make sure I'm not the one holding up the parade. And it's exhausting. There are a lot of musicians out there, and it's never my intention to throw shade on the walk show or Big Things Coming Soon, although maybe a little more on Big Things Coming Soon, but let's just say not everyone is for everyone. I'm officially putting this out there now, people. If you're good at your instrument and you can sing even a little bit, and you work hard, and you know lots of cover songs that put meat in the seats, and you want to make some money playing gigs, please get at me. Again, and you're going to hear this email address 100 times throughout this episode. As per usual, you can reach me at thewalkshow@gmail.com. And I'm talking drummers too. Like, for everything I'm doing, I need subs, because I'm trying to start a musicians collective, so that I can say yes to every gig that comes my way and just know that it's going to be covered one way or the other. I figure if we have running set lists of songs that do well in bars and corporate events, we can learn them all to the T and just keep sharp. And I don't want to be a dick out there, but it's not really that difficult. There's just a ton of musicians out there that don't have a strong work ethic, or their egos get in the way, or they aren't dependable, or they can't read a room in terms of noodling while somebody's talking, or taking over the mix with absurd volumes. Man, I should teach an online course or something. Maybe that's my big dirty. I'm just saying though, people, you shouldn't get props or bonus points for being good at your instrument. It's the absolute least you can do. You score points by being a reasonable person, by having enough empathy and self-awareness to pivot on the fly if you're being obtuse or obnoxious, and by respecting the time of your bandmates, by A, showing up on time, and B, having at least a basic idea of the material you're going to be playing at rehearsal that day. And everybody slips up now and then. I do it too. Sometimes I'm so busy I didn't even get to every song on the docket for that week. It happens. But it's got to be within reason, and if you're going to be that guy that day, you need to make damn sure your other attributes as a musician are on point. Anyway, that's my rant about musicians, so thanks for letting me do it. Thanks for hanging out for episode 5 of Big Things Coming Soon. And apologies for my squeaky chair if you can hear it. I do have a noise gate on, but we'll see. We'll see if it gets through in the final mix. I'm learning to embrace the monologue. It's still a little intimidating, but it gets a little easier with each time I do it. And there's definitely an element of nothing to it but to do it involved here. More than I thought there would be anyway. Because you can fuss over every word you're going to use and, try to make it perfect, but it's just going to come out too contrived that way. And I don't know about you, but I can find 5 to 10 things I hate about everything I've ever produced. Whether it's a music project or a podcast or artwork for the podcast or whatever. So whether I spend 2 minutes deciding on what I'm going to talk about or I spend 2 hours finding the perfect words to use, something about it is going to bother me regardless. And full disclosure, I do script these episodes and kind of riff on them when I feel it's called for. But even the script is just me typing out a stream of consciousness for the most part. It's actually kind of therapeutic. I think this is going to be the last episode of Big Things Coming Soon to go up on YouTube and my free podcast platforms. The whole idea of this show was to be exclusive content for Hypernova Radio and the Walk Show Patreon subscribers. Hypernova needed a weekly contribution, and I was only doing 2 episodes of the Walk Show per month. So I added a 3rd episode and started this show as kind of a monthly town hall. I also thought it would make for some cool bonus content on Patreon, but then I thought it would be a good idea to put the first few episodes out there on my other podcast platforms, just to show you what you could get behind the paywall. Like most of my ideas, this show kind of went a bit of a different way than I initially intended. What was supposed to be an opportunity to tell you about the things I have going on turned into an opportunity to do that and celebrate the cool things you have going on. Also an opportunity to stick it to the neckbeards on the internet who make fun of things like that by calling the show Big Things Coming Soon. Because let's be honest with one another, those people are the fucking worst. I posted this on my Facebook wall a while ago, but why is it always the least impressive people talking shit about bands being washed up or blathering on about how nobody knows who your band or business is? Dude, you wash dishes at Swiss Chalet. Fuck off. If you want to help me keep the lights on over at Patreon, I'd greatly appreciate it. There's also merch for the Walk Show available. If you can't part with your money at the moment, I totally get it. If you would support in other ways, that would also help me tremendously. You can follow the Walk Show on Facebook, Instagram, X, and Blue Sky. I'm at the Walk Show on all the socials. What else? You could leave a 5-star review somewhere like iTunes, or you could tell 2 friends about the show. And as for Instagram specifically, I do have a referral contest happening over there. I'll talk about that later, and you can find out all about it on one of the pinned posts on my Instagram site. Well, if you listened to the show last month, Otis is doing a lot better. He's stable and back to his old ways of peeing on every lawn we pass and terrorizing postal workers for the great sin of doing their jobs. Thank you for all the support. I sold a few more Otis shirts, which helps more than you might think. Anything we can do to help offset his vet bills, particularly because of his disease, is a very good thing. I've been playing a ton of drums this month. A lot of rehearsals, looking for the right cover trio, and a good 4-piece to get out there working. As well as another jam with my Faith No More tribute band Angel Dust, which is coming along really nicely. Those musicians are top notch, and I'm expecting some great shows to come out of that band. I had a few good rehearsals with Apricity too, in preparation for our return to the Whiskey A Go-Go in Hollywood next week. Also a ton of time charting music and just playing drums. Practicing material is one thing, but it's been really great getting to spend time working on my chops and just improvisational skills. I love playing drums, and I always have, but I kind of forgot about how great it feels to just explore the kit for the sole purpose of just enjoying the instrument. I mean, I picked up a few sick fills that I'm definitely going to use in the process, but it was nice to kind of reset and reestablish my love for the art form of drumming. It's kind of amazing how spending time on that part of playing can improve the way you approach the material you spend most of your time with. Even something as simple as a mindset can change so much. I guess beyond that, I started doing some quick drum videos, getting the lighting right and the camera angles looking cool. There's an art form to that in and of itself. I picked up a DJI Action 4 camera, and I even tried out a video with just the camera on my old Samsung phone. Both turned out alright, actually. I'm not sure how to get that DJI logo out of the corner of the screen, though, so if anyone out there in Listenerland does know without using a third-party app, please hit me up at thewalkshow@gmail.com. That would rule. I got set up on a couple sites for voice acting gigs. I'm now on Fiverr, Voices, and Paid. And I even have a short reel available too. Big thanks to Gina Kennedy of Altered by Mom for helping me get out the gate with that stuff. So cool to have talented friends. Anyway, if you need any voiceover stuff done or know someone who does, hit me up. Lastly, I just celebrated my 200th episode of The Walk Show. Hard to believe, but it's true. I caught up with a Canadian heavy music legend and old friend, Mr. Mike Froh of the Holly Springs Disaster, Mike Froh and the Bad News, and more. Big thanks to Mike for making my 200th episode a special one, and a big thanks to all of you for your support over the years. Really looking forward to keeping a good thing going here. I reached out to you on the Walk Show socials to ask you what your big thing coming soon is. I'm going to get to your answers and give you mine right after a word from this sponsor. Today's episode of The Walk Show is brought to you in part by Jam Spots. Established in 1989, that's over 30 years, Jam Spots has provided safe and accessible spaces for musicians to create and collaborate. They have hourly, weekly, and monthly rentals to suit your needs. And here's the thing, these rooms rent out at artist-friendly rates. Cause let's face it, we can't all be John Bon Jovi. The best part about Jam Spots is its rich history in the Guelph music scene. It truly is a big part of the local scene and even has a music community within itself. And I should know, almost every band I've ever been a part of has had a room with Jam Spots. That's a ton of rehearsals, photo shoots, and even a music video we shot there with Arise and Ruin. If you're looking for a space within our music community, check out jamspots.com. That's JAMSPOTS.com. Jam Spots. Make some noise! From Zach Schaefer of Pink Lemonade Records. Hey, dude. Zach says, The Long Weekend Band Crawl, Sunday, May 18th, Volume 12. And just to elaborate on Zach's comment, this is taking place uptown Waterloo. 19 artists spread across 5 venues. Follow Pink Lemonade Records on the socials for details. From Eddie Knowlton of Fast Eddie and Debt Cemetery. Hey, man. Eddie says, the Wild Wild East Tour. He also posted a flyer. The tour includes Fast Eddie, The Tears Theory, and Johnny Frank, and takes place April 17th in Quebec City, April 18th in Trois-Rivières, April 19th in Montreal, May 2nd in Toronto, and May 3rd in Van Cleek Hill. Follow Fast Eddie on the socials for details. From Jeff Vassy of Jeff Vassy Music School. Hey, Jeff. Jeff says, 20th anniversary of opening my music school/studio in September. Have taught lots of musicians and recorded acts like Life in Vacuum, Teen Violence, The Music Box/Love Banshee here, and not had to get a quote-unquote real job. Yeah, that rules, dude. And teaching is such a great service to the community. I have the utmost respect for a great music teacher. It's something I've dabbled in over the years, but every student is so different, and it's a really tough job. I honestly couldn't hack it the way a good teacher does, so I will say, well done, sir. From the good people over at Gain Music, and that's Guelph and area independent new music. Hey, buddies. They say Gainfest 2025, year 15. And that's crazy. It's crazy that the fest is 15 years old. I played the very first one with Wakeless, and I think there was a point where I was the musician with the record of most appearances at Gainfest. I'm willing to bet someone has knocked me off that podium at this point, though. Everybody go check out gainmedia.ca for details. As for me, I have a lot to look forward to, actually. Next week, I'll be heading back to LA to play an Apricity gig at the legendary Whiskey A Go-Go. We're opening up for Fozzy on their 25th anniversary tour, also sharing the stage with Liliac, The Nocturnal Affair, and Paradigm Switch. While I'm away, I'll be providing my PA and light reg to Gain Music Fest. And while I'm sad I will miss Gain, I'm glad I could help somehow. And it's nice to have been able to grow my company to the point where I can bring in business while I'm in a completely different country. It's pretty neat. May 10th, I'll be doing sound for the Punk Rock Farmers Market put on by friend of the show, Jonathan Sohn of the Mendozas and Cartridge Heart. And this one's going to be great. It's happening at Skull House in Bellwood. 11 bands, food, drinks, and a merch market. And it's all taking place outside, rain or shine. So if you're coming out, please dress accordingly. May 25th, I'll be keeping time for KC Lee and his Checkered Past as part of the Nourish Our Neighbors fundraiser put on by the Guelph Food Bank. That's happening in the Quebec Street Mall all weekend. So if you're in the Guelph area, come out and support a great cause. Beyond that, I have some other gigs I'm not sure I can talk about yet, but things are starting to happen, and I'm really excited about it. It was kind of a slow start to the year, so it's nice to see things coming to fruition. I have a new cover band that I think is going to do pretty well, if I may say so myself. It includes John Wyatt, who's a killer multi-instrumentalist, Jeremy Pink, who's one of the best guitar players I know, and Sam Pattison, who plays with Apricity, Mandroid Echo Star, and even played with me in Arise and Ruin back in the day. I've been pounding the pavement for way too long looking for a lineup that's, going to be serious and talented and ready to get to work. And I think I finally might have one, so I'm really excited to see what we can do with this band. As always, I have a few other band ideas in the works, but, we'll see what happens. I just need to keep busy working, and playing music is a great way to keep your lights on. So I'm kind of just throwing everything at the wall, seeing what sticks. But yeah, I do have high hopes, I gotta say. As always, thank you so much for your participation. Listener participation is a crucial part of Big Things Coming Soon, so please keep your answers coming. I try to post the question at least once a week on my socials, but feel free to reach out anytime with your big thing coming soon. You can reach me by email or DM me, or just find one of the posts on the socials and just post in the comments. I gotta send a shout out to another sponsor of the show, Planet Bean Coffee. Since they're a part of the double feature Preacher on the Walk show, I haven't created a standalone commercial for them, but they are an excellent company and they've been a wonderful sponsor. Planet Bean is an absolute staple here in Guelph. They've been roasting fair trade and organic coffee in Guelph since 1997, and I'm willing to bet that some of you listening weren't even alive in 97. And I wish I could say the same, but, I'm an old man, so it is what it is. Anyway, Planet Bean rules, and I'm absolutely honored to be working with them through the Walk Show and Big Things Coming Soon. Check out what they're up to at planetbeancoffee.com. Hey, I have a referral program in effect. If you get someone to follow the Walk Show on Instagram, you and they will get a chance to win some free swag. Here's how it works. It's real easy. Step 1, get someone you know to follow the Walk Show on Instagram. That's WOK, people. Step 2, get them to DM the Walk Show account and leave your Instagram handle, so I have both of them. And that's it. You'll both be put on a single ticket and entered into a draw. The draw will take place on an episode of Big Things Coming Soon once 30 tickets have been entered. The winners, that includes new follower and referring follower, will receive a Walk Show mesh back ball cap, t-shirt, and stickers. Pretty cool. I'm going to take a quick break, and I will be back with more Big Things Coming Soon right after this, I promise. Hey, business owners, wouldn't it be cool if I was taking this time to talk about your product or service? I've enjoyed building relationships with some very cool companies since I started this thing, and I am looking to expand the Walk Show family. I work with some great sponsors, and I've sponsored events through the podcast, so I do understand how valuable time and resources can be. If you have any interest or questions about working with the show, hit me up at thewalkshow@gmail.com. Again, that's thewalkshow, WOK, @gmail.com. I hope you're enjoying the podcast. Thank you so much for listening. Now let's get back to the show. If you're still with me, I want you to know that I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I'm going to leave you with some music that aired on the Walk Show this month. And if you want to submit music to the show, there is a music submission form available on my website and on the Walk Show link tree. You can find my website at derekprincecox.com. That's DerekPrincecox.com. You can check out the Walk Show section on the website, and the Walk Show link tree can be found at linktr.ee/thewalkshow. If you have any feedback or questions for me, you can reach me at thewalkshow@gmail.com. First up is Bonnie Trash with Hellmouth. My episode 198 guest was actually Devere Agard, host of Planet Groove on 93.3 CFRU FM. And since he's not a musician himself, he wanted to spin some Bonnie Trash, which was a fantastic idea because they absolutely crush. Here's Hellmouth. Check it out.
I see
The episode 198 double feature preacher artist was Enzon D with Something's in the Dark, She's Gone. Big thanks to Phoebe from Alternative Twist Radio for sending me this track. Here it is. Enjoy.
I can count the ways I'm having a bad day. I can count the ways something's about to give. This ain't a way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. Something's about to give. This ain't a way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. Took the balance of my feet. Been building sand castles near the ocean for years. So even when the light sees my darkest rooms, I close my eyes tight and run to darker rooms. Something's about to give. This ain't a way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. Something's about to give. This ain't a way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone. If I listen to the laws, seems they'll leave me or leave. Wish I could touch what I can't see. It's gotta be, it's gotta be. Those times with some truths, but losers getting loose. I'm aching to be used, spiritually abused. Maybe I end up faster if I just stand still. There's gotta be an answer, is the question my will. Something's about to give. This ain't a way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. Something's about to give. This ain't a way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone. I don't care what you say, there's gotta be a better way. I don't care what you say, there's gotta be a better way. I don't care what you say, there's gotta be a better way. I don't care what you say, there's gotta be a better way. Better way, better way, better way. I can count the ways I'm having a bad day. I can count the ways. Something's about to give. This ain't a way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. Something's about to give. This ain't a way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. Something's about to give. This ain't a way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. Something's about to give. This ain't a way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. Something's about to give. This ain't the way to live. You're tearing up my heart. Something's in the dark. 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 She's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone. She's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone, she's gone.
Man, I really hope this squeaky chair isn't coming through in the mix. It is driving me insane. But anyway, next up is Altered by Mom with OK OK. Gina Kennedy and Devin Lougheed of the band were my guests for episode 199 of The Walk Show. They were a ton of fun to chat with and so talented. They're so talented, I feel like I upped my talent just by hanging out with them for an hour. if you're in the Guelph, Ontario area, check them out this weekend at Gain Music Fest. And again, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it. I'll either be in LA for a gig or locked up somewhere in the States for having a heterodox political opinion. But anyway, here's Altered by Mom with Okay, Okay.
Feel it boiling over. It's murder on the dance floor scene. And though we're getting older, still living like we're 17. I like the devil on my shoulder. And bad guys making the rules. I don't care, we're getting older. I just wanna hang out with you. Money maker, little faker, killing time but not a time waster. On the ceiling, got you feeling. Okay. Hot stopper, sweet talker, tear it down and build it back stronger. Unsteady, get ready, you got the cure, we got the poison. You got the cure, we got the poison. Feel it heating up now. Chaos with a party vibe. 2 a.m. is getting desperate, but we're still alive. Say goodbye to acting like we're 17, 'cause we're alright. Living in a daydream. Money maker, little faker, killing time but not a time waster. On the ceiling, got you feeling. Hot stopper, sweet talker, tear it down and build it back stronger. Unsteady, get ready, you got the cure, we got the poison. You got the cure, we got the poison. You got the cure, we got the poison. Won't learn my lesson, won't hear anything you say. Okay. Give me the medicine, I want it in my veins. Okay. Won't learn my lesson, won't hear anything you say. Okay. Give me the medicine, I want it in my veins. Okay. 'Cause I'm a money maker, little faker, killing time but not a time waster. On the ceiling, got you feeling. Hot stopper, sweet talker, tear it down and build it back stronger. Unsteady, get ready, you got the cure, we got the poison. You got the cure, we got the poison. You got the cure, we got the poison. Won't learn my lesson, won't learn anything you say. Okay. Give me the medicine, I want it in my veins.
Man, that band is so cool. I became a quick fan. Let's just put it all out on the table. Next up is the episode 199 double feature Preacher artist The Fods with The Ineffectuals. This band is very cool too. Almost more of a musicians collective from all over the world than a regular band. But a really cool concept. Here it is, The Fods with The Ineffectuals.
You
Next up is a real banger. It's Mike Fro and the Bad News featuring Blake Prince of Teeth with Over-Egged Pudding. Mike made some time for my 200th episode, and it was fantastic. Such a great human, ridiculously talented, and it was just great to catch up with an old friend. We toured Canada together back in the day, and Mike's always been a solid dude. So here it is, Mike Fro and the Bad News featuring Blake Prince with Over-Egged Pudding. Boom. What'd you think of that boom I put in there before we played this track? Kind of reminded me of a Tough Actington acting commercial or something. Anyway, last but certainly not least is the episode 200 double feature Preacher Artist. One of my favorite current bands. It's Guelph's own Vida with Welcome to Graceland. And of course, I can't just play this song. I have to yammer on about how much I love you guys first. Listen, it's been a trip getting to 200 episodes, and that's not including bonus episodes or specials I've done in the past. 200 episodes of The Walk Show with guests who all have their own paths and schedules. Doing this has been an exercise not only in communication skills, but in organization, in audio engineering, and even just regular old self-confidence. From day one, I had a strong support. And that's really gotten me through a lot of it. And I know people turn their noses up, another podcast out there on the internet, blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot to it if you take it seriously. there are times, even months, when you just don't want to do it or you're sick of it. But the schedule matters and following through matters because ultimately the listener matters. Thank you for everything. If you keep listening and helping me grow this thing, I'll keep doing it for as long as I can. All the best to you and yours. Get at the things you want in life and be sure to let me know about them. We'll celebrate your wins together. This is Derek Prince-Cox signing off. Here's Vida with Welcome to Graceland. Have a great day, everybody.